I use the MonoPrice Mini Delta V1 printer, and it does not recognize common G-code commands that are used to posit a layer or to do a filament change. There are a lot of experimentation. This is the workaround that I have found. You'll want to load your files into your slicer in the normal fashion. And in this case, for example, key cover, I've got two models. There's a support piece to keep the key level, and then the actual cover. And you'll want to select all of the models and then use this merge models command. It'll put them in the correct orientation relative to each other as they were modeled. So after you slice it using your default settings, you'll want to preview the model and scroll through your layers to determine which is the last layer. On this model, layer 20 is the one to keep in mind. So save that out, save that G-code out, and then we'll open it to actually edit the G-code. And you want to pay attention, so scroll down to the first time you see a layer, and since on my printer it's layer 0 is what they call it, the first layer. So I'll want to search now for layer 20, and then I'll insert some G-code right above this line. So right here is where I need to insert. And the first thing to do is I go from this line up until I find a Z entry, which for this model is 3.3. So I'll add that here with about 30 millimeters. Seems to give me enough room to put the key in. And then the command that I have found to work is the G4 command, which just pauses for a set amount of time. And this seems to work because it doesn't require any user input, and 30 seconds seems to work. And then the last step is to put the nozzle back to where it's supposed to be. I copy this line that we modified above, paste it there, and then just set that Z height back to where it was. And close and save it, and then it is ready for printing. And here's the finished part of the key. As you can see, that it splits it into the two layers pretty easily, and you don't see much of a layer difference, but where that pause happened. And this could, in theory, work to do a color change. You'll have to guess how long your filament change is going to take. You have to do a manual filament change and hope that everything works properly within the time frame that you specified. You do have to be right at the printer during that pause, otherwise it will continue printing as specified, and then you'll lose that opportunity to insert the key, the magnet, whatever it is that you're trying to embed into the 3D print. And you also have to have enough Z height to allow the nozzle to move up out of the way. If your model is too tall, then you probably won't have room to do that. There are some other options that are a lot more involved that are available. I've briefly described how they work in the write-up